Tiger Network from Learfield, live from Harpo's, the Missouri Bar and Grill. This is Tiger Talk with Robin Pingeton.
Pulls up from three and hits it. Holy cow, Abby Schreck.
Now, here's your host, Brad Trinago.
Good evening and welcome to another season of Tiger Talk for Mizzou women's basketball. Brad Trinago here with you at our home for Tiger Talk for basketball season. Harpo's Bar and Grill, located in downtown Columbia, a staple of Columbia since 1971 downtown, now featuring a new food menu. Check out the daily specials and the expanded space to host your next event. So we're with you, of course, on the Central Bank Tiger Network as usual. You can also watch Tiger Talk live locally through the family of networks through KMIZ and in the St. Louis area through the family of networks on KMOV. Additionally, you can watch and listen live on the Tiger Radio Network, the Mizzou Athletics Facebook page and YouTube channels, and all episodes of Tiger Talk will be available later on the Inside Mizzou Athletics podcast. Mizzou women's hoops off to a 7-3 start to the season. Most recently, a 79-45 victory on Sunday at home over Jacksonville State. The Tigers will be back in action tomorrow night as part of the SEC ACC Challenge against SMU. That will be an 8 o'clock tip, 7:45 broadcast start on the radio for you, and then the homestand will continue against Northern Illinois on Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. We'll have Coach Robin Pingeton with us momentarily. We'll also hear from a few of our players as we move along this hour, sophomore Abby Schreck and freshman London Oliphant and Mo Vincent. If you have questions for Coach P or the players, you can check out our Facebook page for Mizzou Athletics and Mizzou Women's Basketball. You can leave your questions in the comments. Sports Information Director Toby Lau is standing by, and he will pass those questions along to us. Now we got the business taken care of. Coach Robin Pingeton, glad to be with you for another season.
Well, it's always great to see you, and just appreciate the opportunity to be here. I was actually not late. I was getting a little tour of the place, and so trying to figure out where some of our players hang out from time to time and what it's like to be back in the college days. But it's great to be here. Looking forward to the show.
Absolutely, and thank you again to Chuck and Jack and the crew for being such great hosts. We look forward to being here all basketball season long. All right, your team, technically 9 returners, but 3 of them played 8 games combined last year. So really it's 6 returners, 9 newcomers. How has that process gone so far to bring this team together?
You know, it's been a lot of fun. There's definitely been some growing pains for sure, some tough losses in the non-con. But, going back to June and just you never know for sure what you're going to get. You think you have a pretty good idea, but recruiting out of the portal I think is always kind of interesting. It's kind of like speed dating, I guess. I was never a part of that, but it just happens so quickly, and you try to do your due diligence. And we've been really blessed. Every one of those players are exactly who we thought they were. Just incredible young ladies. And then obviously our incoming freshmen we're really excited about. And then the young ladies that are returning. And so then the next goal is how do you put a team together in a short period of time. And June and July, they really got after it in their workouts. I think as competitive as the summer as we've ever had. And that's always really exciting as a coach. But we're still learning our way a little bit. There's going to be some bumps in the road, and there have been. But it's a great group to coach. They work really hard, very like-minded in regards to what kind of goals they have for the season. And they're really passionate about the game. And so it's fun to have so many different personalities and uniqueness to our team. And I think part of the fun is just who you become in the journey of coming together as a team. I always say you come in as teammates and you leave as sisters. But it's been an incredible group to coach.
So going back to the speed dating, you and your husband Rich met before tender. You guys are pre-tender.
We are. We definitely are.
Very good. Yep. Well, you referenced the hard work from this team, and it's really felt like when I had a chance to catch off-season conditioning, preseason practices, you pushed this group harder than you've pushed groups in the past. What was it about the makeup of this group of players that made you feel like that was something that you were comfortable doing?
Yeah, well, first of all, they're just incredible young ladies. Great heart postures, just great human beings. And then at the same time, I'd say they're just dogs on the court. I mean, they just love to compete. They're passionate about the game. I always said last year we had a handful of players that I thought really had uncommon work ethics. And this year, from top to bottom, the amount of time that this squad puts in the gym outside of what's required hired is very unique and special. And, from day one, we talk about non-negotiables that we have for them as players, but we also want to know what non-negotiables they have for us as a staff and their expectations. And, I think that's really how you come together. And, the common theme was we just want you to be honest. We want you to challenge us. We want you to, support us for sure, but don't hold back and help us be the best version of ourselves that we can be. And when you have a squad in a locker room that's just so like-minded in that perspective, it's a lot of fun to show up every day and just roll up your sleeves and go to work.
Tiger Talk with Mizzou women's hoops coach Robin Pingeton coming to you from Harpo's this season and, of course, on the Central Bank Tiger Network. Early on in the year, you said offensively it was still a process in terms of, just familiarity and building that trust with each other. Have you seen progress in that respect in terms of the ball movement offensively and things like that?
I definitely have. And, we're a long way from where we want to be yet, but a lot of different pieces and a lot of, I think, young ladies that are used to being that scoring role and that lead role. And so, then you put them on a team and, you just kind of figure out who can play well off each other and how do you put them in a position to be successful. And, we talk a lot about, good shots versus great shots and watched a lot of film and just continue to challenge our players that, they've got the ability to create. But, man, sometimes that one more pass is the shot that you want. And so really just trying to help them see it through our lens, through film, breakdown. They've been very receptive to it. And every day, even through our losses, through our wins, through our losses, our goal is to get better one day at a time and be the best that we can possibly be.
Something that has stood out to me anyway, basically from the jump, it just feels like you've got a better and just more disruptive defense this year than you've had in recent seasons. In fact, 5 of the last 6 opponents have shot 33% or worse from the field. What can you do with this group on the defensive end that maybe you couldn't do previously?
Yeah, well, that's music to my ears because just a huge credit to our players. Tyler Stewart, our strength and conditioning coach, has done a tremendous job with our squad in the offseason. I just think getting their bodies ready, their conditioning levels, their load training at the level that it needed to be, and able to play the way that we wanted to play. We knew we needed to be more athletic. We wanted to be able to create some more havoc in the full court than we did last year, create opportunities for extra possessions for us on the offensive end, and, really spent a lot of time in June and July really breaking down and challenging them defensively. And I think they've answered the call. I think, when you watch our team play, they get a lot of energy when we get stops and when one turns into 2, and that creates our offense. And so credit to Tyler, credit to our players for putting in the work, and hopefully we'll be a squad that just can be more of a presence not only in the half court but obviously in the full court and try to create some extra possessions.
A couple more minutes this segment with Mizzou women's hoops head coach Robin Pingeton, then we'll hear from Mizzou sophomore guard Abby Schreck. Let's go back to Sunday. Again, a 79-45 win against Jacksonville State. Never trailed, forced 20 turnovers, going back to that disruptive defense we were just talking about, plus 12 on the boards. What stood out the most to you overall from that win against those Gamecocks?
Yeah, again, I just thought we had some really good defense sessions for sure. We talk a lot about it being a 40-minute game, and we don't want to outcome based, and that scoreboard's really important. Don't get me wrong. I mean, winning's important to get to where we want to be in postseason, but we want to play each possession, one possession at a time and be the best that we can. And I thought we went on stretches where we played really well and really hard, but we also in that fourth quarter, in my opinion, just kind of exhaled a little bit. We let them get a few more threes off than what we would have liked. I think from a turnover standpoint, we got to continue to do better in that area. Rebounding was pretty solid for us, so I saw some growth in that area. Ball movement was good. I think we ended up with 15 assists, so you always like to see that stat. So there's a lot of good things, but again, I don't want to get too caught up on that scoreboard. I'm seeing a lot of things that we can continue to clean up as a team.
I'm guessing you're not going to want to play 13, 14 players whenever you get into SEC action. How is that process of trying to find that rotation that you're going to trust whenever you.
And I think that's a really good thing. I think it's a very healthy thing. But I do believe once you get into to conference play, it gets a little bit more challenging to go that deep into your rotation. So we'll just have to continue to evaluate. We want to take the emotion out of everything we do, make it be very analytical, and we'll look at stats and we'll make decisions based on that.
How important has it been to have that depth? Because your team has come out of the gates playing a ton of games. I mean, 10 games in less than 4 weeks is a pretty busy pace for any team. So having that depth, how valuable has that been?
Yeah, November's been wild. I mean, it's just been game after game, and I think as a player, you probably love it. You know, as coaches, you want to be able to make tweaks this early in the season. We haven't had a lot of opportunities to do that, but I do think, playing the game sometimes is the best teaching tool. You go back, you watch film, you evaluate, win or lose, what are we doing well, what do we need to clean up on? And so I think it's been really good, and I think for this team with so many new faces and potential rotations that we can play with to be under the lights and get that game experience is so important, but also having the depth. There's times that after games our strength and conditioning coach is like, our load's got to be high tomorrow just because, some of those players didn't get extended minutes. I think it's hard as a student athlete right now, but I also know throughout the course of the season, playing against a scout team every day in practice, the wear and tear on your body, the physicality of the SEC, it wears on you. And so right now you think, I'm fresh, I can go longer. I think over the course of the season it can catch up to you, and so I think it's been huge for us.
Coach, appreciate the first few minutes here with us. We'll catch up with you again at the back end of the hour, okay?
That sounds great.
That's Mizzou head coach Robin Pingeton. Again, she will rejoin us in about 30, 40 minutes. Up next, we're going to hear from a few of her players. First, want to let you know, Tiger Talk brought to you by Shelter Insurance, ranked #1 in customer satisfaction for auto insurance in the Central Region by J.D. Power. 6 out of the last 7 years, we're your shield, we're your shelter. Why there was no place like home for Abby Schreck, the sophomore sniper, joins us next. Tiger Talk, we're back at Harpo's, baby, and it's here on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
The most powerful ideas come from understanding. By asking what's important here. At Great Southern Bank, we start by asking our customers to find out how we're doing and what they really need. Then we get to work, making banking easier and more effective, financing more flexible, and our communities better places to live. It's an ongoing team effort to keep improving how we serve our neighbors day after day. And it all starts with understanding what really matters. Learn more at GreatSouthernBank.com. Member FDIC.
It's time to get back into routine that focuses on you. Move better, feel better, simply live better at Wilson's Fitness. Escape reality in the indoor saltwater pool. Detox from the saunas or heat things up with our hot yoga. Wilson's is here to support you, motivate you, and help smash your goals with group fitness classes, personal coaching, and endless amenities. Move better, feel better, simply live better at Wilson's Fitness in Columbia. Visit them at wilsonsfitness.com.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why our agents work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Isn't it time to check Shelter out? Find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Tigers fans, say aloha to Hawaiian Bros Island Grill, where the island-inspired flavors are positively delicious. You'll love favorites like huli huli chicken, marinated in their signature teriyaki sauce, or luau pig, featuring tender, slow-roasted kalua pork. Bounce by after the game just south of campus on Grindstone Parkway, or order at hawaiianbros.com. Hawaiian Bros is open late and ready to serve you with aloha spirit. Hawaiian Bros, it's a vibe.
Tiger fans, do you like to gamble? Well, gambling's exactly what you're doing if you have your home or business electrical installation done by a contractor who's not qualified, trained, and insured. Don't take the chance. Be safe. Be certain. Use only IBEW contractors to do your electrical work. The stakes are just too high for anything else. You can depend on your hometown IBEW and IBEW contractors.
First Tiger Talk of the season for Mizzou women's hoops, continuing from Harpo's in downtown Columbia. Reminder, you can show your swagger with a Tiger checking card from Central Bank, the only place for Tiger checking. Open it today at centralbank.net. We will hear from Coach Robin Pingeton again coming up a little bit later on this hour, but we move on to some of our player segments, and we're going to begin with a 6-foot sophomore guard from Quincy, Illinois, who's averaging more than 10 points per game. Please say hello to Abby Schreck joining us on Tiger Talk for the next few minutes. Abby, let's go back to a two-game stretch in mid-November. A career-high 26 points with 8 three-pointers at Western Illinois, then 19 points, 5 more threes against SLU here in Como. What did the basket look like to you in that stretch? Was it like this big or something?
Well, I mean, every shot for me is the same shot, so I was just lucky to get on a hot streak there.
Mm-hmm. Specifically at Western Illinois, I mentioned you're from Quincy, so you played less than an hour's drive from home. Huge group of family and friends there, plus current players from your alma mater, Quincy Notre Dame. How cool was that experience for you?
Yeah, it was awesome being able to be so close to home, and Coach P gave me the opportunity to bring the team over to my house before for our pregame too, so that was just super special to, let everybody come and see where I grew up. That was pretty cool. But, just playing so close to home, having so many people come even closer, because usually Columbia is a close game, but even closer to home was just such a great experience.
Talking with Abby Schreck here on Tiger Talk. What's been the biggest difference for you from freshman year now to sophomore year?
Just embracing a new role every year. Last year I feel like I was coming in as a freshman, you don't know exactly how to fit in. But, this year, definitely just stepping into my role as a leader, just always using my voice to be a good teammate.
One thing, and I mentioned this with Coach a few minutes ago, it just feels like coaches have been working this group a little harder than they did last season. Have you felt that from your side?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I know Coach P loves letting me hear it every day at practice, but just embracing the toughness and every challenge that they bring at us, we know it's because they love us and they know our potential, and so we're starting to see our potential too, and knowing, truly embracing the hard, tough things.
Well, I'd say you've definitely bulked up during your time here. Is that more from the weight room, or is that just from the farm back home in the off season?
A little bit of both. Coach is always saying be farm strong, so I just got to do what I got to do.
Sophomore guard Abby Schreck with us here for the next few minutes here on Tiger Talk. Had an opportunity to go down to the Destin, Florida area to play a couple of games over Thanksgiving week. What was the favorite part of that trip for you?
Definitely the beach. We were so lucky to have great weather there. We thought we were going to be rained on, but the sun came out and it was just, the beach was beautiful.
Yeah. Do you feel like too that it came because it's such a busy stretch to begin the season? There have been a few road trips mixed in. Was it nice to have a couple extra days on both ends of games to kind of unwind?
Yeah, it was nice. Obviously, being in Florida in good weather is a great place to, just relax. And, we played some two tough games, but being able to relax in between each was really nice.
What's the key, you think, or some of the keys for this team to get in the mix and get back into the NCAA tournament conversation this year?
Just keep holding down on defense. That's what we keep turning to when games get tough. Defense is always where we just got to hold down the fort. So, yeah.
We're going to hear from the two true freshmen on this roster a little bit later on. Wanted to get your thoughts on what you've seen from them so far, starting with Lowe, London Oliphant.
With London, I'm just so proud of how she's come in and embraced her role too. We talk about it every day, interdependence and just knowing your role and what you can bring. And I think Lowe's really embraced her role, just coming in, using her voice, and she gets down with all the little things. She doesn't get enough credit for all the hard work she does. She puts her head down and just goes to work every day.
So we got a Lowe and we got a Mo in the freshman class, Mo Vincent. And unfortunately, she's been still trying to work through some knee issues, but whenever she's had an opportunity to work with you, what stood out?
Yeah, just the questions that she's always asking me stands out to me because she's just open for feedback in anything. I was her partner today in weights. She was asking me for tips, anything that can make her get better. And, I mean, she's also just putting her head down and going to work. Like, she knows she wants to be on the court so bad, and everybody can see it. And so, like, just all the work she does, she's running so hard. She's so happy to be on the court, too. Like, when days are tough for her, she loves it because she's back to what she's doing. She hasn't been able to do it with her injury, but, like, I'm just so proud of how she's embraced, like, the toughness, too, and, like, she's getting after it on the court.
We'll hear from Lo and Mo coming up later on this hour. We're talking now with sophomore guard Abby Schreck here on Tiger Talk. What are you studying right now?
I'm studying education.
Okay, I've got a pretty good idea, but I'm guessing teaching and coaching whenever playing is done for you?
Yeah, that's the plan, yep.
Mm-hmm. High school level or?
Yeah, right now I'm studying for elementary education, but if I was a coach, I'd like to go back to my high school and maybe coach for my high school.
When you're on the buses with the team, you play this game, I believe it's just called Mafia. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Are you the best Mafia player on the team?
I am, yes, for sure. Other people try to be the narrator, but they can't get it right like I do.
So it's basically like, for people who haven't played, it's kind of like Among Us, if you're familiar with that. There's little similarities where, you know, some people are the good guys and the bad guys, and the good guys have to figure out who the bad guys are and things like that, basically.
Yeah, so you got some people trying to, you know, kill some other people, and the other people are trying to catch them. But I'm the one that's always outside the game. Like, I can see who everybody is, the sheriff, the killers, but I'm making up good stories, making everybody have a good time for a little team bonding on our long bus rides.
I can relate to that. Very understandable. So you mentioned that you had the opportunity to have the travel party for the team over to your home before the game against Western Illinois. So I was part of that, and it was so cool to see where you had grown up. I walk in the front door, I look to the left, and I see a shrine to the Wizard of Oz. I've never seen anything like that. I was definitely not in Kansas anymore. So is that your mom's thing?
Yeah, my mom, it's her favorite movie since she was, you know, a little kid. I mean, it was one of the, like, first color movies, I think. So when she saw that, it was obviously blew her away. And it's always been one of her favorite movies, and she has a really big collection, as you know. It was
pretty impressive. It's worth checking out sometime. You also taught some of the city folks on the roster about farm life after dinner, right?
Showed them a tractor, a little ride through the field. I think they loved it. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, looking forward. We got to find an excuse to go back to Western Illinois or somewhere up there next season, so I can get at least more of your mom's green beans or something at a minimum.
Yeah, the food was very good.
Mm-hmm. Abby, keep up the good work. Thanks for joining us for a few minutes here tonight.
Thank you.
Sophomore guard Abby Schreck with us here on Tiger Talk. Hey, you can partner with the Tigers and the Food Bank, the official charitable partner of Mizzou Athletics. Visit scoreagainsthunger.org to learn more about the Score Against Hunger campaign presented by MPICS. We'll find out why two freshmen from Texas chose Mizzou, starting with the youngest member of the team. That's next. Tiger Talk from Harpo's in downtown Columbia on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow. You sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's.
www.fda.gov/sunscreen for more information. www.fda.gov/sunscreen for more information. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
How's business?
Good. Are you up to speed with the new beneficial ownership reporting requirements?
Sort of. What's it about?
It's a new initiative to help fight crimes like money laundering, fraud, and drug trafficking. A lot of small businesses like ours just have to report some basic info to the federal government about the real people behind them.
Reporting your company's beneficial ownership information is quick, secure, and free, and it helps protect U.S. national security. Learn more at fincen.gov/BOI.
From Harpo's in downtown Columbia, it's the first edition of Tiger Talk with Mizzou women's hoops coach Robin Pingeton for the season. I'm Brad Trinago. This episode of Tiger Talk, along with other great content and episodes, are available on the Inside Mizzou Athletics podcast feed as well. That's presented by Shelter Insurance. Be sure to subscribe today wherever you listen to podcasts. You can hear from Matt Michaels and me weekly, and you can always watch the shows on the Mizzou Athletics Facebook page. We continue with our player segments now, and we're going to say hello to a 5'6" freshman from Dallas, Texas. London Oliphant will be with us for the next few minutes on this first edition of Tiger Talk on the season. London, thanks so much for joining us.
Of course. Thank you, Brad.
Good to have you back in town and back in the fold. How's college treating you so far?
Oh, man, it's different. It's been going by so fast, but it's like Coach B said before, it's all about the journey and just experience. And, it's new for me being on a team full of, older girls. So, that's a different experience. But I'm like the baby of the team, so that's how they treat me, and I definitely love it. So.
Have you turned 18?
Yes, I turned 18 in August.
You did turn 18 in August, yes. So for 4 whole months you've been 18 years old. Okay, got it. You mentioned the adjustment. What's been the biggest change for you from high school to college? That could be on the court, off the court, whatever.
Yeah, well, I'll start on the court. The physicality for sure. Just bigger, stronger, faster, women's basketball. And then as far as off the court, just being around more people from different backgrounds. I'm so used to, in high school, we grew up same area. We think more alike. So being around different backgrounds, different cultures. So.
Talking with freshman London Oliphant here on Tiger Talk. Why did you choose Mizzou for your college stop?
Well, my dream was always to play at the highest level, and, that was a checkbox for here. But I started basketball just looking into the coaches and what they value, and that was their alignment there, and I can see how they believed in me. And I saw myself what I could add to this program and how this program would help me evolve and grow. So,
what do you feel like you can add to this program when you're on the court?
Number one, I'd say my energy. I think that goes a long way. I'm just a natural high-energy kid. I'd say just IQ from being a point guard, just seeing things from different perspectives. So, whenever I do go into a different position, I've been able to adjust there because I see things from different parts of the court and things like that. And just leadership, too. I'm not really afraid to speak up, but I'm also open to hearing others' opinions, too. So.
We're talking with freshman guard London Oliphant here on Tiger Talk. Most of the points you put up so far, obviously very early in your career, but most of the points came against SLU. You scored 7 points in that game, had a couple highlight reel buckets. It was a lot of fun to watch you out there. What do you remember most from that game?
Honestly, I'm just hype all the time. I think I'm so in the moment. I'm just it's fun to me, regardless of what is going on. I love basketball, so I think I just think about my teammates, how much they hype me up and their energy for me. So.
Speaking of your teammates, what player or players on this team do you feel like you're trying to sponge up as much info as possible from and try to learn from?
Oh yeah, definitely. Speaking of the guards, I'd say Nia Wilson, her pace. A.B. Kroenke, her leadership and learning from her and how she talks to and how she knows how to talk to different people and things like that. Also Ashton Judd and along with Streck just being shooters and seeing how they are and how consistent they are with their shot and things like that. So.
Going back to preseason conditioning and stuff in the summer, were you ever out flipping tractor tires like you were this past summer?
Absolutely not.
What was that like for you?
It was. I think once you go through something and you continue to do it, I think it becomes normal. So if you were to ask me to flip a tire now, I'd be like, let's go, It is what it is. But I mean, I found joy in it, and I got stronger from it, and, we got closer as a team, and I think that's the ultimate goal anyways. So.
Freshman guard London Oliphant with us for a couple more minutes here on Tiger Talk. Besides basketball and studies, what do you find yourself spending the most time on these days?
Oh, I love to dance. I'm a dancer.
Okay.
I love music, listening to music. I think, as time's going on, I'm still figuring out, what I like to do. But, yeah, for the most part, I like to dance. So.
Academically, again, you just turned 18. You're just starting out in college. But do you have an idea yet of what you might focus on in the classroom?
Yeah, so my major is business. I want to, after college or when the ball stops bouncing, to become a financial planner. So
nice.
Yeah.
You played AAU ball with Mo Vincent, who we're going to hear from coming up here in a couple of minutes. We have not gotten to see her yet on the floor in a game for the Tigers. But when she's healthy, what's she going to bring to the table?
It's going to be hard to stop her. I mean, she can play any position on the floor. She's very, very hungry. So you can just tell her energy, her competitiveness, and she's also, as far as being a leader, she's not afraid to speak up. And like Shrek said, she's very open to asking questions. So I think she'll be ready when she gets back. Actually, no, I know she'll be ready.
Who got more buckets back on the AAU circuit, you or Mo?
Definitely her. I mean, I'm the PG. I'm supposed to pass to whoever's open. So, yeah, definitely her.
Spoken like a true point guard. You were setting her up, though. She wouldn't have gotten half those buckets if it weren't for you, right?
Hey, look, we did it together. So.
Let's give it up, everybody, for London Oliphant. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
We'll hear more from her as she moves along through her career. On the way next, we will check in with Mo Vincent on how long of a nap she got today. It's very important to her. We'll explain coming up next. Tiger Talk from Harpo's in downtown Como on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
You could call it swagger. You could call it a vibe. You could call it confidence. You could call it cool. Or you could call it exactly as it is, Tiger Pride. Show your Mizzou spirit with the Tiger Checking Card, only from Central Bank. Sign up today at tigerchecking.com. Central Bank. Strong roots, endless possibilities. Member FDIC.
It's time to get back into routine that focuses on you. Move better, feel better, simply live better at Wilson's Fitness. Escape reality in the indoor saltwater pool. Detox from the saunas or heat things up with our hot yoga. Wilson's is here to support you, motivate you, and help smash your goals with group fitness classes, personal coaching, and endless amenities. Move better, feel better, simply live better at Wilson's Fitness in Columbia. Visit them at wilsonsfitness.com.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Tigers fans, say aloha to Hawaiian Bros Island Grill, where the island-inspired flavors are positively delicious. You'll love favorites like huli huli chicken, marinated in their signature teriyaki sauce, or luau pig, featuring tender, slow-roasted kalua pork. Bounce by after the game just south of campus on Grindstone Parkway, or order at hawaiianbros.com. Hawaiian Bros is open late and ready to serve you with aloha spirit. Hawaiian Bros, it's a vibe.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
When the game goes into overtime, but the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
First Tiger Talk of the season, continuing from Harpo's in downtown Columbia. Glad you could join us. Coach Robin Pingeton will be back along in about 5 minutes or so. From the creators of Beatbox and Peachtree Catering, check out Belly Market and Rotisserie. Enjoy one of Belly's massive sandwiches with house-smoked meats, a delicious salad, or daily specials. The new dinner program offers seasonal plates, fresh seafood, and new bar offerings. Tell them the Tigers sent you and get a special treat. One more player to introduce you to as we continue here on Tiger Talk. She's a 6-foot freshman from Houston. Say hello to Mo Vincent. Looking forward to seeing her out on the floor. Haven't gotten that opportunity quite yet. Mo, even more than a typical college student, you love a good nap, you told me. How long were you out today?
I had a very busy day today with workouts and just studying for exams and stuff, so I only got an hour in.
Only an hour? Oh, my gosh. I'm glad you're still, awake and able to talk to us after that. So I mentioned before you haven't had a chance to play for Mizzou yet. Hurt your knee in February of your senior year of high school, so still in the process of rehab there. How is that process coming along?
It's very, very hard. It's a lot of stuff I don't talk about, but it's definitely been a journey. I feel like I've grown a lot from it. I've matured. I've had a different mindset, been able to see stuff in different perspectives, especially not being on the court, just seeing it from an outer view. But I feel like it's been good. I feel like I've needed this time to myself to get my body right. So
I'm guessing you haven't sat for extended periods of time ever since you were an all-stater back in the Houston area and stuff like that. So it's probably, I could see why it's been a bit of a challenge for you.
Yeah, I usually play through all my injuries. I know I'm not supposed to, but if anything, it'll be like an ankle sprain or probably got kneed in my thigh and had a knot or something. But, I never had an injury this big.
What are you going to be able to offer this program whenever you are able to be out there and playing?
Really everything, whether it's leadership, talking, facilitating, scoring, defending, rebounding. I take pride in being an all-around player, so I would have a lot to offer. Freshman Mo Vincent joining us here on Tiger Talk. Why did you choose Mizzou for college? Well, I didn't really care about how far it was from home or anything, and talking to the coaches and just seeing what the values are. God plays a big part of my life, so knowing that that's what Coach P and the staff and the players were tied into as well, that drove me to come here as well. Whenever I visited here, the campus is beautiful. I was a little scared about the winter, but now that it's here, I thought the snowfall was beautiful a couple days ago. So have you seen a lot of snow in your life before? I haven't. I haven't seen actual snow falling from the sky, so that was my first time.
There you go. So you're welcome yeah. to Columbia. That's the full experience here. I'd like to tell you that's it, but it's probably not it for the winter. Besides the snow, what's been the biggest adjustment for you from high school to college? That can be on the court, off the court, whatever.
Well, I can't really speak in a basketball aspect because I feel like my body would be different if I didn't get hurt.
Sure.
But I'm going to do it anyway. So the workouts, man, it's something crazy. I've never felt I've felt like new muscles get sore. It's just, it's a lot.
You've had an opportunity, and obviously it's not the way you would like for it to be, but you have had a chance to have kind of a front row seat to this team's development from the summer through the preseason practices and now through games. What progress have you seen from the Tigers in the last several months?
Well, I definitely feel like we've gained a lot more chemistry, which is one of our things we've been working on. We've been playing together a lot more recently. I feel like we've been trusting each other versus our first couple of games until now. And we're just getting into the groove of knowing where we're going to be and getting into our plays and knowing where shooters are and just passing the ball around to get the best shot.
A couple more minutes here with freshman Mo Vincent on Tiger Talk. Your mom was a baller, too. She was All-American at the junior college level. But it sounds like from talking to you previously, she inspires you more for what she's done off the court. Can you tell us why?
So I grew up in a single-parent household, and just seeing her grind for me and my siblings, I do this for her. I don't want to let her down. I want to take care of her and get her off her feet at the end of the day because she's still taking care of my other two siblings. So when all this is done, I just want to make sure she has the best life ever because that's what she gave me.
Love it. You played AAU ball with London Oliphant, who we just spoke to a few minutes ago. As she develops here at Mizzou, what does she to the table?
Well, she's already bringing leadership. She's talking. Like she said, she's not afraid to speak up. So I think having that at a freshman level is beautiful, because usually like most freshmen are scared because it's older girls, but she don't be scared. She's already making great passes in practice and on the court. She's very patient, and even when she gets playing time in the game, she executes her minutes very well. I'd be hyped for her.
Academically, and it's early on, obviously, in your academic career here, but do you have a thought about a major and future goals for you whenever the ball stops bouncing?
Of course. All I do is think about the future, unfortunately. But whenever I retire, I do want to be in the field of being a sports agent and just handling athletes. And because I wanted to be a lawyer, but I didn't want to be in a skirt and heels all day, every day. So I was like, might as well just stay on the court and be around what I love. So that's what I want to do.
We have had players for Mizzou women's basketball who also were going through law school at the same time. So you can definitely do it. I know you've got it in you. I'm just warning you right now, your naps may not be quite as long.
It's okay.
Sounds good. Mo, really looking forward to seeing you on the court here real soon. Thanks a lot for your time tonight.
Thank you so much.
That is freshman Mo Vincent joining us here on Tiger Talk. Coach Pingeton will rejoin us next. She'll get us set for a matchup against an Atlantic Coast Conference school from Texas, so got to get used to that. Anyway, this is Tiger Talk from Harpo's in downtown Columbia on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Another teenager, victim to fake pills bought from social media. This doesn't seem like a drug deal, but it definitely is. Should buying prescription pills be that easy? Many fake pills contain fentanyl, and an amount small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil can be lethal. So listen, before buying pills from social media, think again. Learn more at McGruffPSA.org and go for real. Brought to you by USPTO and the National Crime Prevention Council.
Yes! I finally got my first phone!
It is exciting. Let's learn a few things about online safety first.
Learn more at CISA.gov/secure our world.
Everyone has a community, a neighborhood, school, kids' teams, where you worship, work out, or any other place or group where you choose to belong. Communities can provide support when you need it, and even when you don't know you do. Like when it comes to preventing underage drinking and other substance use. Community members can be your eyes and ears when you're not with your kids and alert you to signs of potential problems. Learn more at talkthehearyou.samhsa.gov.
Kids ask their parents a lot of questions.
Why can't people fly?
Gravity.
Is the moon really made of cheese?
Yep, cream cheese.
When can I move into a big kid's car seat?
For some questions, parents may not have the answer, but that's okay. They can't know everything, but knowing the right seat for their age and size will help protect them in a car crash. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Where do babies come from?
Good luck, Dad. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys! I love this song! I love these nachos. I love our kickball league! Ugh! I love this guy! What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Final segment of Tiger Talk. First show of the year with Mizzou women's hoops head coach Robin Pingeton. Men's version of the program coming your way starting at 7 o'clock. Genteel is now the apparel provider of the Tiger Radio Network. Check out the new collection of Mizzou apparel available now at genteelapparel.com or at Bingham's in downtown Columbia. The next time you're in town for a game, Genteel Apparel, a proud partner of Mizzou Athletics. We went with all players for our extra guests on the show this week, but when we do have assistant coaches on the show, that'll be brought to you by Socket Fiber. Again, our assistant coaches interviews all year, powered by Socket Fiber, the fastest and most reliable internet. Mizzou head coach Robin Pingeton rejoining us now. Again, her team is back in action coming up against SMU tomorrow night at Mizzou. Broadcast start or the 8 o'clock tip. We'll break down that game a little bit coming up, but I wanted to get your thoughts on the players that we were able to speak with moments ago. Beginning with Mo Vincent, we have not seen her on the court yet. You've said in the past she reminds you of a former SEC Freshman of the Year for you, Amber Smith. Can you explain that comp?
Well, everyone's got a big surprise coming when we finally get her healthy and back on the court. Just relentless competitor, plays bigger than her size, great athleticism, can defend 90 feet from the basket, can defend multiple positions, which Amber Smith was really good at. She always played bigger than her size. She can shoot the three. She can put it on the floor. She's a three-level scorer, and just has a big personality on the court. And I mean that in the most complimentary way that I can. She's kind of got that alpha trait. She's confident, she's tough, she's gritty, and she loves to compete. She does not back down. So we feel really, really blessed to have her in our program.
I have enjoyed what fellow freshman London Oliphant has brought whenever she's gotten a chance to play. She's only 5'6", but sneaky long. She can be really disruptive defensively, and she's shown a lot of creativity offensively too, I think.
I think London's going to be a superstar in our program. It's hard being a freshman, and you got to stay patient, and you just got to trust that process. But she's got a really high ceiling. She's got a high basketball IQ. She's not about just getting hers. She wants to be a distributor. She wants to push the ball. I think she probably likes to pass as much as she likes to shoot. And just has a really good eye for the game, can defend, has a great motor. I think her upside is huge. Low, wants hard coaching, wants to do whatever she can do to help her team. No agenda there. I don't think it's ever been about Abby. It's about how do I elevate our team, whether it's in the locker room, on the court, on either side of the ball. Just wants to be the best she can be for something far bigger than herself. But just an incredible talent for us. I think she's got a super high ceiling too. Obviously plays with great pace. You don't have to be the most athletic or the quickest. We just felt like the more games we can play, the better. I think players want to play in games more than practice for sure. But like I said at the very beginning, I think sometimes that can be the best teaching tool that you have. You go back, you evaluate, you watch film. I think we've got a very visual learning team this year. So to be able to take actual film and break it down and to make those adjustments that we need to, I think has been really good for us. But the more experience I think they can get under their belt, the better before we go into a really, really tough SEC league.
Well, before we talk SMU, I wanted to ask you about the SEC. The first net rankings came out on Monday, and that's a metric that the NCAA Tournament Committee uses when it's setting its field. The top 2 teams, 4 of the top 8, 9 of the top 25 are in the SEC in women's basketball. So a tough league, which obviously got tougher with the additions of Oklahoma and Texas.
Oh, for sure. And, I think our players would say, they're looking forward to it. I think the bigger the stage, the brighter the lights. I think, they feel like they've put in the work, and we know we've had some growing pains, but certainly looking forward to, just those opportunities to play against some of the best. But tough league for sure. I think where we're at from a net standpoint, I think it's pretty solid. I think that Vermont game kind of skewed it a little bit for us. It was just a really tough first night out, and I think since then we've made some progress, and we still know we got a long ways to go.
And the next step on that journey is against Southern Methodist out of the Dallas area. And the Mustangs coming in with guard Nia Robertson scoring about 22 points per game. Apparently, again, the Mustangs are an ACC team now, which I'm still trying to get used to. They don't go as deep as your team does. They really have it seems like a core 6 that are playing the vast majority of their minutes. But as you prep for this team, what's been standing out?
Yeah, so she's very dynamic guard, 3-level scorer. We say she's a little slitherly. I don't even know if I can say it. I don't say it very well.
That's a Harry Potter house.
But just a dynamic guard that can score on 3 levels, has the ability to really get hot, has had multiple 30-point games throughout her career. So she knows how to score the ball, really good off ball screens, really good in transition. They have a couple bigs inside that maybe a little undersized, but play with a lot of power, a lot of explosiveness, high motor kids that rebound extremely well out of area. They defend well, and they can get hot offensively. So we know we're going to have our hands full, but I think we're all looking forward to it. We've been, been able to put a couple back-to-back practices together that have been pretty intense and really got after it, and I think they're ready for game time again.
Do you like the SEC ACC challenge? Last year had a really good game at Virginia, came up just a little bit short in overtime in that one, but do you like this overall setup?
I do. I think it's great. I think, playing other Power 5 schools is important in the non-con, and sometimes scheduling is it can be really challenging. Just finding the right dates, the right opponents, availability of gym space. You figure in November we've got football games to schedule around, volleyball games, men's basketball games. There's only so much support staff and event staff that are available. And so it really becomes a little bit tricky. And then just the amount of money that you put in to guarantee games. And so when you've got an opportunity to play a Power 5 school in that non-con, I think it's fantastic, and I know the girls really enjoy it as well.
Well, on the football side, there's some excitement about National Signing Day. While we have a minute here, I wanted to talk about the recruit that you have coming for 25-26. Nikki Kirsten is her name. She's a guard from the Chicago area. What should we know about her?
Really excited about Nikki. Just a great young lady. I think she's going to be a great addition to her culture. Just a winner on the court, off the court, and everything she does. Pretty dynamic guard, facilitator, but can score. High energy, high motor, defends at a high level. So, like any high school kid, there's going to be probably a little bit of a learning curve, but with what we have returning next year, and I think she's going to be a great addition and continue to help elevate our program.
All right, we're off and running with Tiger Talks. Let's do it again next Wednesday, okay?
All right, quick shout out to our football team. Really excited for them. Coach Drink had a heck of a year. Huge win for Gates last night. That was fun to watch, and best of luck to our volleyball team as they play in the NCAA tournament.
Yep, that's coming up tomorrow. Coach, appreciate you.
Thank you.
That's Robin Pingeton, head coach of the Tigers. Our thanks to her. Our thanks to Abby Schreck, London Oliphant, and Mo Vincent, to all of them for joining us. Again, you can see the Tigers in action coming up tomorrow night against SMU. It's a little bit later tip-off at 8, so a 7:45 broadcast start to that one. And then Mizzou right back at it against Northern Illinois coming up on Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock, so a 1:45 broadcast start for that. The next Tiger Talk, Talking Women's Hoops, will come your way this time next Wednesday on the 11th at 6 o'clock. We'll have more player guests for you then, and of course Coach P will be with us as well. Big thanks to Kelly Freeman on the ones and twos at Learfield headquarters in Jefferson City, Jeremy Washington, and the crew here. I'm Brad Fernago. Thanks for joining us for Tiger Talk on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
Addison's restaurants are great local spots to visit before or after all Mizzou home games. Addison's has 2 locations to choose from in Southwest and downtown Columbia. Addison's features a full bar with over 20 beers on tap, including local brewers, and of course their famous Nachos Bianco. So, before or after the game, stop by Addison's. View the full menu online for both locations at Addison's